With the Line 6 Helix approaching its 10th anniversary this year, one question that I get quite often is whether the Helix can still compete in the guitar amp modeling world with some of the newer modelers that have been released in recent years. Well, the folks at Line 6 have really been second to none in updating the Helix and even recreating the Helix and adding so much value to it for anybody who dove into the HX ecosystem. Well, I'm here to tell you that not only do I think it still competes, but it is still one of the top modelers out there available. And anybody looking to get into the guitar modeling game really can do no wrong by jumping into the HX ecosystem with a Line 6 Helix or a Line 6 HX Stomp or HX Stomp XL. Today, to kind of showcase this, I'm going to actually be covering my top 5 Helix amp models for 2025. I've done videos like this in the past, but we've had so many beautiful new amp models added to the Helix, I wanted to revise this. I hope you enjoy. All right, so here I am over in HX Edit, and I'm about to show you what my top 5 current amp models are for 2025. Doesn't mean that they're going to be the new ones. There's some really great older amp models in the Helix also. But what I have here set up is just a dab of dynamic ambience, just to get rid of that really bone dry sound, especially if you're listening on headphones. I also do have a delay here set up, ready to go. I have it turned off, so we'll turn that on if we feel the need while listening to these amps. So we'll come over to an empty block. I'm just going to simply add an amp and cab block and maybe do very subtle, quick tweaks to the amp model, mostly just with the microphone and position of the microphone. So without further ado, let's get on to my top 5 favorite amp models from the Line 6 Helix for 2025. All right, so coming in at number 5 is going to be this Line 6 Voltage Original. Now, these Line 6 Original amps can easily be overlooked because they aren't trying to be a one-to-one copy of any particular amp out there, although they do tend to borrow heavily from some very popular amps. So we have the Line 6 Voltage. It pops up here with the 412 Greenback 25 with a 57 dynamic. Anybody who follows my channel knows I'm not crazy about the 57 dynamic, but let's give it a quick listen. Just a dab of dynamic ambience on this. So right away, I would come in over to the cab and probably swap this out for something like a 121 ribbon, maybe pull it back a few inches. So really, really cool stuff there right off the hop. This amp is capable of a nice amount of drive. Beautiful part about these Line 6 Originals is this boost feature. Slapping some of the transistor tape delay. So that is my number 5 favorite current top amp model in the Helix, the Line 6 Voltage Original. So coming in at number 4 is actually going to be a much older amp that's been with us for quite some time, and that is the Matchstick Channel 1. It comes up with these default settings with the 212 match, H30 cab. Again, this 57 dynamic, not really my favorite, but let's give it a listen. I'm going to come in right away again, maybe switch this out in this case to a 160 ribbon. Move that mic around a bit. Amazing what we can do just by moving that microphone around. We can also bring the gain level drive down on this. Get beautiful chimey sound out of it. Middle position. Some really beautiful killer tones hidden inside of this Matchstick Channel 1 amp. Coming in at number 3 is one of the newer amp models that we received in the latest firmware update, which is the US Super Vibe. Now that's going to come up, as we would expect, with the 410 US Super Cab, with the 47 condenser FET on the cap edge at 5 inches back. Let's just take a listen to this at these default settings. I'm on the bridge pickup here on my Gibson 335. Or the neck. So beautiful stuff right out of the gate without even touching anything on this. Going back to the bridge, we could get a lot of nice kind of grainy distortion out of this, which, you know, it's an acquired taste, but it is perfect for certain things. So some beautiful tones there. Again, we could add some delay onto that. That type of tone really sits beautifully in certain mixes and with certain guitars and for certain styles of music. So this US Super Vibe amp is really cool. A lot of great tones hidden in here. Some beautiful, beautiful cleans. Coming in at number 2 is the brand new, recently added EV Panama Red. Again, this will pop up with the 412 XXL V30 cab with the 160 ribbon on it, which is kind of nice. I really like that mic on it. That's not really a favorite cab of mine. V30s are a great speaker, but I actually prefer sometimes just going into something like this with the greenback. We'll come back over here, maybe with the 121 ribbon on the cap edge and pull that back a few inches. Or if you did want to go with a dynamic mic, something like the 7 Dynamic is a real favorite of mine as well. And of course, we can always come back into the actual amp here and mess around with the EQ and controls. For heavy tones, this amp is really hard to beat. Tons of gain on tap. Again, adding a little delay in there can really be nice on this. So loads of gain on tap and a really killer new addition to the Line 6 Helix. And coming in at number 1, again, I believe this was also number 1 in my last top 5 amp model videos for the Helix, is the Brit 2203, which is a recent addition. Again, I would probably get rid of this 412 1968 T75 cab. Back to the bridge pickup. And again, believe it or not, coming to something like the Greenback 25, maybe a 160 ribbon on it. Something I would prefer, cranking up some treble and presence. One thing I really like about this amp is how versatile it is. Some really, really great overdriven tones. Do really nicely with some delay as well. The beautiful part about this is with this low input switch down here, can actually make this into a really beautiful clean amp. Just by moving that low high input, which again is obviously going to be able to be assigned to snapshots so that we can have that switch in and out, back and forth. All right, there you have it. So I hope that that actually showed that we have some incredible tones in the Helix with very little effort and very little work to get those tones sounding great. And yes, I really do believe that the Line 6 Helix, even after almost 10 years on the market, is still competing and hanging with the best of the guitar amp modelers out there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that that video was enlightening and helps you to realize that if you are a current Helix user, you have nothing to worry about. And if you are looking to get into the guitar amp modeling world, the Helix would be a great choice. Also, take a look at the links below, either at my website or Line 6 Marketplace, where I have a lot of free presets and a lot of premium presets if you're so inclined and want to add some great tones to your Helix. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. Also, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content. I'll be leaving you today with a demo video for one of my latest Line 6 Marketplace releases. The links will be below in the description to this preset over on the Line 6 Marketplace. And if you're so inclined and want to grab a copy, it will be available there. Thanks again so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the music on the way out. Ciao for now.